Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And they'll go on the ground. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a handoff looking right. And he stopped immediately there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
He'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And heading back onto the field now, the Texans defense. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast. But it set up their own offense. Gave them a little spark. And they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. Second down now after the incompletion. They'll come out in the pistol. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drip back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I love when a play results in a gain that I can actually kind of fall back on one of my favorite adages, and that is anytime there's a run over 10 yards, it means that the offensive line did its job, but you know who else did? The wide receivers. Because the first 7 yards kind of belong to the offensive line and the running back. Anything after that means the wide receivers did a great job of blocking downfield, being willing to mix it up, and give them some more space to gain additional yardage.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So they're operating in the red zone.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
One quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They'll look to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Flush to his right. That is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to him until defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Their dangerous wide receiver with officially a 103-yard return. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
That was a special return, and it happened Because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that one officially goes down to the books as a return for a touchdown on the kickoff of 103 yards. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder that coming up at halftime, we'll join Larry Ridley in Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. So we look forward to that.
And I'm looking forward to some air conditioning.
I bet you are. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's go! Flex round! Check 13.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll set up a throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Here we go!
He'll try again with the arm here on blitz coming, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he helped.
And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And out now, here come the Bengals. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team. right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, let's roll the highlights. Third down at the 24. Pass coverage will break down here. And he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 7. Third down from inside the 20. The catch will be made in double coverage, and that is a house call. Texans up now by 5. Texans back deep for the kickoff. He'll actually take the punt out of the end zone, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. This cuts the deficit to 4. Third and long. Tight coverage here, but the completion is made, and he'll go in for the touchdown. Texans go up by 11.
Yeah, that's perfect. 2. Davis, deep. I got to go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the third quarter. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. This Bengal defense now making their way back out onto the field. They are down on the scoreboard as we begin the second half and looking to avoid a bigger deficit.
And I can just hear the coaches now. I can hear the head coach. Guys, first 5 minutes, first series of the second half. Offense or defense, you got to set the tone.
They'll try to set that tone here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 9 yards on the play and a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. That was a really nice play, to be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now back to throw. Rolling to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll set up to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Their big tight end, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes the play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 3rd touchdown now on on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, as long as we've been covering this league, every time we see a receiver that does not have a big-time game, you know that it's a long week for everyone around him. And, boy, it's paid off for him this week. He is prepared, locked in, and demanding the football and getting it.
He told you that pregame that he was ready. I wasn't there. I was standing alongside talking to his teammate, but he said he was ready. It's shown.
My favorite part is he was telling me he was ready while he kept pacing in front of me. I mean, he's like a thoroughbred just out of the gates. And what he's done this week is found the ball early.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
Certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right, the sync just wasn't there.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab.
Here we go now.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Let's go. 3, 9, 2.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Roughing the passer, that's shades of Charles Davis back in his playing days.
Oh, I sure wish it had been, Brandon. Back in my day, I didn't hit anyone hard enough to rough the passer. I had a number of teammates that handled that for me.
They'll look to throw here. And a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now out comes Houston. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Fresh set of downs here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Houston. 49 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Their dangerous wide receiver with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Holding, defense.
Shift together here from the D-line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. And they're going to speed things up here. Again, he'll drop to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got time. That is caught at the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw again. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It's a loss of 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11.
Hey, 4 down. 4 down. Gun!
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Well, Charles, it's one thing.
You're a crack-a-dawn Monday morning coffee, strong pouring everything you got into a paycheck.